Hello, I chose to do my paper on Quakers' contributions during the American Revolution, specifically looking at two men, General Nathaniel Greene and the first Commandant of the Marine Corps, Captain Samuel Nichols. So that's General Greene on the left there, and Commandant Nichols on the right there. So first I wanted to take kind of a look at the history of Quakers in North America and what made them unique, particularly during the Revolutionary period. Quakers began arriving in North America in the mid-1600s. The Quaker faith, or the Society of Friends as they called themselves often, began in 1651 by George Fox. And that's an image of him right down on the bottom right. And one of the things that really kind of made them unique was their pacifism. They said we can either create nor bear arms, and they began arriving initially in Barbados and Philadelphia, but by the mid 1700s, in the lead up to the American Revolution, they'd spread to all 13 colonies. Fun fact I discovered while I was doing my research was George Fox. There's actually a college in Newberg, Oregon, honoring him and his contributions. And it was founded as a Quaker institution, and I believe it was Calvin Coolidge attended George Fox University in Newberg, Oregon. So kind of a cool connection to Oregon. Some of the lead up and non-direct action during the war participated in by Quakers. They participated in a lot of economic protests. They didn't have any issue speaking out against taxation without representation and the patriot cause. But what really kind of brought a split in the movement and in the church was the signing of the Declaration of Independence. And just over 1,200 Quakers were actually disowned, kind of the Quaker version of the Catholic excommunication, from what I've gathered, for their participation in marital affairs. I believe was the most common wording used at the monthly or yearly meetings to disown Quaker faithful or disfaithful, I guess you might say. During the Battle of Guilford Courthouse, they tended to both American and British casualties. Nathaniel Greene famously wrote a letter requesting that they give any help they could. And two Quakers actually came down with smallpox from treating the wounded, and one of them ended up dying. It was William Hunt passed away from that. Lydia Darrow is someone that there's the first story about her actually participating and giving the news to General Washington about the ambush didn't actually come out until 1827. So there's a little bit of historical, did it happen? Is this kind of a myth like Molly Pitcher or someone like that? But there was a story that Lydia Darrow warned Washington about an ambush at White Marsh on December 1777, possibly sparing his life. So one of the most interesting sources I found in my book was a killing instrument we may neither form nor bear, and that was one of kind of the church bylaws that the Quakers followed. And the pacifism of Quakers kind of meant that they were distrusted by both the American and the British, so the Tories and the Patriots, during the American Revolution. So they experienced a lot of, kind of getting it from both sides a little bit. The Patriots didn't really trust them for the most part, and neither did the British, and kind of thought, if you won't take up arms, are you really on our side? Kind of an idea. The number of Quakers disowned during the American Revolution were 1,276, and I thought that was, a not insignificant number. And so it meant there was kind of this split in the church between, I feel like I need to, serve in the military and fight for my country and my cause, but also on the other side, a lot of Quakers felt no, we got to stick to our guns in sort of a interesting way. Nathaniel Greene was called Washington's most trusted general. He was raised a Quaker, disowned in 1773 for participating in a parade, remained a devout Quaker until his death in 1786. And Samuel Nichols, the first commandant of the Marine Corps, was born into a Quaker family but didn't necessarily practice. And Thomas Paine,